Obelisks were always associated with the sun, and sun temples had obelisks. The city that had more obelisks than any other in Egypt was Heliopolis, which is Greek for sun city. That's the biblical On, the On of the Bible. Right? It had more obelisks than any other city, but there's only one left now. Only one. Let me tell you where the obelisks are, because they've moved quite a bit. Now, the New York obelisk was moved in 1880 by a naval lieutenant. Gorringe was his name. He not only took the obelisk, he took the pedestal, which had weighed 50 tons. Now, when he came to get the obelisk, though, there was a real problem for him. He had to lower it, and there wasn't really enough timber. There wasn't enough timber available in Egypt to lower the obelisk. Finally, he got it down, floated it around to the port, and he bought a steamer called the Dassault. He opened up the hull of the Dassault, actually opened the thing up, right, to get it inside the ship, then had the hull closed, and had to sail to New York. But he finally made it to New York. He sails around Manhattan, right, and lands it on 96th Street. But there's a slight problem here. There's a railroad track that he has to cross to get it into Manhattan. There's a railroad track that runs along the Hudson at that time. Fortunately, Vanderbilt, who wanted the obelisk in New York and is paying him, owned the railroad. At some points, they had to build railroad trestles because, you have to get it up hills and down hills. Now, the obelisk moved at the rate of 1 city block per day. Right? It was pulled along by a steam engine. What was done? They took a steam engine, an anchor chain, attached it to the obelisk, and the steam engine winched the obelisk along. Sometimes it took a day just to turn a corner. You're dealing with a huge block. The pedestal, which weighed 50 tons by itself, was the largest object ever moved on wheels up until that point. It was pulled by horses, right, on this huge carriage, but it was on wheels, right? Largest ever moved, 50 tons. So finally, on January 22nd, 1881, at the erecting of the obelisk, there were 9,000 masons present. 9,000. They made great speeches. They talked about it as a Masonic monument, but the obelisk was erected. And you should all go to see it at Central Park when you're in New York. Everybody should see the obelisk. It's right behind the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Very nice location.